Your little head nod. Hey guys, it's me again. It is now 10:41, and we are cranking out these videos. We have no time during the day because we're making your shit, and also they run 6 CNCs all day, so it's super loud. So in those videos where you see it really loud, that's because it's probably during the day. So what I got here is I have right here I have the Uplift V2 commercial. I have our Vertex 2-leg, and then the Uplift V2 just standard range. And what I did is I kind of un mas. So what I did is I put 90 pounds on, basically because apparently a Samsung 49-inch is 33 pounds, right? So screw it. I put on a 45 pound in the center, and then I guess an average gaming PC. I don't game. I mean, I used to, but never really on PC. Sorry, I couldn't do it. But anyways, is between 40 and 80 pounds. I know some of your guys is probably heavier than that. And you have other gear, but I kind of wanted to take an average. So if this is 33 right here, you take these 10, that's 55, and I think that's kind of in the middle. And we're just going to go with it. So I put some average weight on it just to do some tests. Just to start off, want to get kind of where we're sitting height range. This is about at 23 inches. This is about 23 and a quarter. And this is about 25 and a half. So if you really want the lowest, it would be the Uplift V2 commercial. That said, we do offer this. This right now currently is in dual stage high. And then there's also a dual stage low, which goes down to 22 with a 1-inch top. So it would go lower. You lose a couple inches at the height. But for those people that really, really want a low option, we have that. So obviously all the way down here, you know, they're all super stable. There's going to be no movement across the board. We'll go up to Abby height. What was that? Do you remember?
I think like 39.
Definitely seems like the logic data control box kind of ramps up the RPMs. It sounded like, you know, it changed pitch once it got going. All right, 39. Let's just give it some shakes. I'm not even gonna. Okay, screw it. I'll do the side to side, just so everyone can freaking see it. So barely any side to side. Definitely more side to side. Barely any side to side. So I think side to side wise, I think the V2 is probably the best. Just the standard. Oh yeah, for sure. I think these, if you want to show them, these little, this is why it doesn't go as low, but they put this little bracket in right here. I think it's definitely a huge increase in stability over the V2 commercial and ours not having the side to side or not having that little bracket. So I honestly don't think this really does much. So you could definitely buy this if you wanted the extended range and not install it. Front to back. Movement. 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 I would say it's the same. Go a little taller, we'll go to my height. Let's see what this is. 44. Definitely more side to side. Definitely more side to side. And I think at this point, at this height, the brackets of anything no longer help. I mean, they all feel the same. Yeah. Plus, again, I'm not a believer of this whole side-to-side thing. Unless you're a DJ, and I could understand like the spinning and weight shifting, I don't really think it's ever gonna matter. Front to back. I mean, adding weight to a desk totally changes it when people show things like, you know, even when I show desks without weight on it, besides the Apex Pro and our 4 legs, all of them perform really bad, in my opinion, once you start adding weight. This one seems to be the worst. The commercial. I think this one's a little bit tighter. So I think the V2 commercial is, I guess you would say, more stable? I don't know. I mean, there's all different, there's different things that involve. So, for example, the testing OMT does, like they do 4x capacity. So I think we have it listed that this only lifts 225, but it's actually 250. It was 225 with the old school control box. With this one, it's 250. They call it the Smart Neo. One thing, like, so this has the Bosch motor in it. It's made in Buell, Germany. This same motor is used in like the IKEA base or some of the iMover bases. And all of them rate their base at 350, but it's the same motor. At the end of the day, it really comes down to the programming in the control box, what that control box allows it to do. So like when we start to overload this, Logic Data has a high power mode where it controls the RPMs so it doesn't overheat, and it controls the current it's drawing, all things that are based on safety. Like without those features, you know, and if it just kept trying to lift it, you could overdraw, you could blow a fuse, things like that. So OMT definitely, or I shouldn't say OMT, Logic Data errs on the side of caution on those things, but you can put 1,000 pounds on here and it will not, I'm not saying it will lift it, I'm just saying you can put 1,000 pounds at max height and it's not gonna back down the motors. So sometimes, I can't think of a recent one we've done, but when we've loaded them up with like 1,000 pounds or whatever and we leave, we come back the next day, like it's either crooked or it's completely down. Not that, like one time when I tried to overload the Linac DL2 columns, like those, wait, is it DL2? The super big one, like the columns that are this big. I put like 700 pounds on them one night, just one column, and when I came back the next day, it was completely collapsed. I mean, that was definitely way overloaded. I would say, I guess it wouldn't be 4x the weight, but like those are the safety things that Logic Data and OMT, you know, kind of put in place. You know, this same system, I mean, this is like the flagship model for Hayworth and Herman Miller. I mean, OMT provides bases for both companies that both use the same systems, and it's their flagship. So it's this whole, yeah, when they say this is 350 pounds, does it make this seem bad? But like the average user that's gonna have a 45-pound desktop, 2 monitors, 1 monitor, whatever, but it's probably gonna be around the same weight. They're all gonna start to move. And I mean, if we go to max height, I mean, it's just gonna be ridiculous across the board. But if we pull these weights off, and I'm not gonna do it, and we just, well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm not gonna do it, because people are gonna think I'm trying to hide something. Whoa. Nah, the same. And this is on hard floor. Like imagine if this was on carpet, this would be terrible. Oh man. I mean, if you're just typing, you're probably not gonna notice it with a monitor, but I'm not putting a ton of force, just going like this. And it's moving. So those people that say, oh, I use mine and I have it at full height and I have it on carpet and it's completely stable, I'm calling you out because that's a total bullshit lie. All right, let's rip these weights off. I'm gonna bring that pallet over.
These are my snacks.
Candy break.
Mine.
Whoever said I need to wear a belt, I don't have belt straps. I guess I could tie this. Yeah, I should probably do that.
Before you start flashing everyone.
I don't have a fat ass. Pants don't stay up. All I do is work. What time? It's 11 o'clock and I'm still at the warehouse. Give me a break. Get that moving.
You look so good lifting those weights, baby. Dang.
Educating the public. And this is the average spending all day lifting 65-pound pops. Boy. But anyways, weight makes a total difference. I mean, even with 25 pounds on here, and yeah, this is max height, but it is what it is. Dirty hands. Alright, so I guess while we're at max height, the normal V2 uplift is sitting right at 51. The right at 50. The V2 commercial is sitting right at about 49 and an eighth. And keep in mind, this is an inch and an eighth top. Should be. Yep. So it's like I'm pretty sure Uplift uses LPL, I think. So it's probably an inch, especially because it comes from China. So it's definitely probably whatever inch in millimeters is the closest to that. That's probably what it is. So this is inch and an eighth. These are Hayward tops. I have like a pallet of them, so I use them for our testing. So those are the top heights. No weight. Brutal. Another cool thing with OMT, guys, is don't forget you can use 150 colors. So these are what? 2, 4, 6. These are 12 colors right here. All of these are options. No upcharge. You can get whatever color you want. Here you're stuck with black, white, silver, industrial clear. All right, let's lower this down. Just gonna go to my height. I think it's really solid. I think the V2 commercial has it a little bit. So V2, the normal is definitely the worst. V2 commercial is definitely it has the least amount of deflection. OMT is working on that. They've been really trying to focus on their spacing between columns. If you're watching OMT, top column could be a little tighter. But really, that's where all the play comes in. Spacing between the glides. Really, I mean, it starts at the foot. I mean, I can speak with, the other price difference, I guess, is I just had them text it to me. But, like, this is 8-gauge steel. The motor box is 8-gauge steel. The J channels are 14-gauge. These are 14-gauge. Okay, let me look. Let's see. All right, so 14-gauge steel tubes, 8-gauge steel feet, 8-gauge motor boxes, which is basically what this is. This definitely does not look like that's 8-gauge. I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to say it. This is definitely, I mean, this is 10 pounds. This foot right here weighs 10 pounds. This foot right here weighs 6 pounds or 7 pounds. Either or, there's a difference. It starts at the bottom, and all the stability works its way up. Again, at my range, the most stable base I think is the V2 commercial, with everything going on. That said, are you gonna it still moves? This still moves, so it's that slight movement that's gonna make your monitor shake. So if it moves a little, it's not gonna change anything. But I think after the recent surcharges on steel and everything, I think we're selling at like $675 desk house, and we haven't raised our price. 10 days. Abby, how much time are we at?
16.
All right, we got Rapido. All right, so let's just white. 30C, which is this, extended range, and programmable. So we are at $596. Oh, I said $675? $596. That's a good price. Holy smokes.
Woo.
All right, so Uplift. Uplift disc. Got that damn song stuck in my head. Alright, so a 2-leg. Just the frame. So this guy right here, so I'm going to spec it out with the programmable so it matches kind of exactly what we have here. 27.5-inch foot, which is this is 29 inches, 29.5, I think. So this is 27.5. Let's go to. Oh man, even Uplift is out. Their black isn't shipping until the 26th. So let's add the Comfort Keypad, because this right here, this is a soft rubber. Like, this is my favorite switch so far I've played with any of them. That sounds raunchy, played with. So we're at $525 right now for this. And are there any other things on here? No. All right, so $525 for this with the programmable switch. And then if we jump to the V2 commercial, 27.5-inch, we're at $608. So we are actually, what was this, $596? So we're basically the same price. This is made in the USA. Literally, this is made, I can throw a stone, and if I get a couple good hops, I'll hit OMT. So right down the road, steel, everything is 100% made in the US. The motors are made in Buell, Germany. So, yeah, I don't know how to say it. It's a made in the USA product. This is not. This is made overseas. The switch is made overseas. The motors are made overseas. The metal, everything is made overseas. So you get that lack of, customization that you can do with OMT. Does it support more weight? Yes. Do I think, one thing I'll say, when you don't have any weight on this, when you press up or down, it's definitely a smoother transition. With OMT, their tolerance on their spindle is not as great. So that first spin of the spindle, it kind of does a little vibration. If I didn't point that out to you guys, no one would probably notice. Herman Miller and Hayworth, this is their flagship model. Man, I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, but it is what it is. I'm trying not to get my hat dirty. Yeah, so honestly, is this more stable? Yes, but buy this. This is the cat's meow. Not really, but get a cool color. Get this. OMT is giving us a 2-week lead time, so all of our supply chain issues don't really account for this. So Vertex is a 2-week lead time. However, we still have some extended time just processing. And I'm rambling. So get whatever base you want. I don't care. Have a great night. See you soon. Bye.